Hi, I'm Travis Elliott with National Control Devices, and welcome to my desk. Today I'm going to be talking to you about our new MirX line of controllers. The MirX line of controllers is actually the very first devices that we've created that absolutely don't require a computer at any point in time. There's no configuration, there's no programming, there's no nothing. It's as simple as it really can get. Whenever it comes right down to it, all you actually have to do is wire them up and you're done. But I wanted to go ahead and talk to you a little bit about them today. We have several different sizes available. We've got everything from a single channel mechanical relay here, 5 and 10 amp relays available. We have a 2 relay version of that here. We have a 4 relay version here, an 8 relay. And then we also offer some larger relays like 20 and 30 amp relays, such as this one here. This is a single channel. We also have a dual channel, a 4 channel, and an 8 channel. Okay? And we also have 8 channel solid state relays available. These are really good for AC inductive loads. So those are a good addition to the product line as well. Now, to start, the way that these devices work is they are sold in pairs, which means whenever you order this device off our website, you're actually getting 2 boards. Okay? And these 2 boards communicate to each other wirelessly. Now, the way that they do this is through these wireless modules that are installed on each board. So whenever these wireless modules are installed on each board, before they leave here, they're actually married together, which means that they only communicate to each other. So this module and this module will only talk to each other. So if I have more than one set of MirX controllers in a location, they're not going to interfere with each other because, like I said, they are married together. Now, how the MirX controller works is you have 2 boards. Each board will have a relay or a set of relays, and it will also have an input on it, a contact closure input. This is a 1-channel relay controller, so it has 1 relay and 1 contact closure input. This 8 relay controller here has 8 relays and 8 contact closure inputs. So what I can do is I could actually attach, say, a button to the input on this controller. If that button is triggered, this controller is going to send a wireless signal to this other controller to turn its relay on. So the input on this controller controls the relay on this controller, and vice versa. The input on this controller controls the relay on this controller. It's really as simple as that. There's nothing else to it. One of the drawbacks would be that you really can't do anything other than that. For a lot of applications where you need to take a contact closure you generate in this location and transfer that contact closure wirelessly to another location, this is perfect. And if you just have 1 contact closure you need to transfer, this is a really inexpensive way of doing it. So these are really, really simple. And there's a whole multitude of things out there that generate contact closures. A lot of times you'll have a PLC that's going to generate a contact closure, or a motion detector, or a button, or a switch, a magnet detector. We actually sell a few sensors on our website now. You can see this. I have these 2 controllers powered up. These are 4-channel controllers. On this controller, I have a magnet sensor, a button, and a motion detector all attached to different inputs. So here you can see, you probably can't see it, but there's a little light on there, and that's actually the motion detector. And if I trip that motion detector, this controller is wirelessly going to send a command to this controller to toggle the relay. So whenever I do that, you can probably hear it click there. and that's the motion detector triggering that relay directly. I could also push this button here, and it will click the relay. I also have another thing that we offer here is a little magnet sensor. This is the actual magnet sensor here, and I've got it attached to one of the inputs. And I have this here, which is basically just a magnet that comes with it. And whenever they come in proximity with each other, it clicks the relay. It's sending, whenever that contact closure is generated by this device, my controller detects that and wirelessly sends a command to the other controller to turn on a relay. Okay? Now, this controller here has 4 inputs. Each one of those individual inputs is tied to an individual relay on this controller. There's, if you would call it a drawback, I guess you could say I can't switch which input controls which relay on this end. But for most applications, I don't think that that's a big issue. Now, on these controllers here, I have what we're calling the standard range modules on here, which are rated for about 300 feet under ideal conditions. More than likely, you're not going to get a full 300 feet out of it. If you have a wall or something in the way, that's going to limit the range. So those are our 300 feet standard range modules. We also offer these with a medium range module, which is capable of a 1 mile range under ideal conditions. And that module would simply install the same way, and it has this little external antenna to kind of help you with range, and you can bend that around. Another nice thing is it has this little grommet nut here, so you can attach it to the enclosure. So those are pretty nice, and you get really very good range out of these modules. You'd be surprised. And lastly, we have our long-range MirX controllers, which will have these modules here installed. The long-range MirX controllers also come with a large outdoor antenna. I don't have that here because it's really not feasible for this video, but it basically looks like a big TV antenna. And you basically put the antenna at both locations and point them at each other, and you can get up to 15-mile range out of that. So that's really a pretty amazing range capability for such a little device, you know. I'm going to go ahead and show you a video here that kind of shows you basically the only thing you need to know on these controllers. They have one jumper on them, smart mode and beacon mode. Okay, beacon mode is really good for range testing. Smart mode is best for day-to-day use. Beacon mode, you're not going to get as fast of control of the relays. Whenever an input is triggered here, the time it takes that input to actually trigger the relay is going to be a little bit slower in beacon mode. But they're great for range testing because you have constant communication, and you'll see immediately whenever the communication breaks. So this little video here is going to kind of show you what that jumper setting actually does to the controller, and you can see it working up close. So we'll go to that video now. Here we'll show you the difference between the smart mode jumper setting and the beacon mode jumper setting. Here we have it powered up first in smart mode. You'll see that the busy ready lights flash rather slowly. That's because data isn't being sent nearly as fast in this mode. Here we'll disconnect one controller, and you can see the busy light never flashes. That's because it's not receiving any valid data from the other controller. When the other controller is connected, you'll see the busy light begin to flash again because it's receiving valid information from the second controller. Now we'll switch the jumper over to beacon mode. You'll see that the busy light stays on almost full time while the ready light flashes. This is because the second controller is sending vast amounts of information very fast. So they're communicating back and forth very fast now. However, this slows the reaction of the relays to the inputs. You'll see that I'm touching the wire really fast on the inputs here, but the relay isn't flashing very fast. So now we'll switch over to smart mode on both controllers. Now you'll see that the relay responds very fast whenever I touch the wire to the input. This is because it's in smart mode. Alright, so that's basically all there is to these controllers, and like I said, you'll see my computer shut here. There's no computer required. These are very, very, very simple device. Anyone can use it. And like I said, if you have a contact closure in one location that you need to wirelessly send to another location, you really couldn't ask for a better product than these devices. So I really hope you look into them. I think you're going to be really impressed. And I think they're actually some pretty good looking boards. And we did this nice blue circuit board here, and they really turned out nice. We're really very happy with them. So I hope you'll check them out and let us know if you have any questions or comments on them. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.